Hi, this is Davy Mooney coming to you from the University of North Texas, where I run the jazz guitar program. I'm a Benedetto artist, Sunnyside Records artist. Got my new album live at National Sawdust, and 3 others on Sunnyside. Got my book Personalizing Jazz Vocabulary from Mel Bay. And today I want to talk about the Gershwin tune, Nice Work If You Can Get It. I've been hearing that song for many, many years. I probably first heard it I used to listen to the Ella Fitzgerald songbooks, and pretty sure that one's on there. And I guess my first thoughts on hearing that song was just kind of a cute, fun little tune, and it was only later that I realized how, as I got into jazz and trying to play it, how intricate this song is, especially the beginnings of the A sections. And there's a lot of great versions of it. I really like Sinatra's on Swingin' Affair. I love the arrangements on that album. And Bud Powell on Inner Fires. It's a great version. Thelonious Monk on those early Blue Note recordings that he did in the early 50s, late 40s, I think. And also Joe Pass on George, Ira, and Joe. Gotta love that record. But, as with many of these tunes, there's slight variations on form and some of the harmony, but just to kind of take you through it, if I do it in G, which is where Joe Pass does it, I believe Sinatra's in F, and they modulate as the song goes on. Bud Powell and Monk are both in A flat, so there you go, right off the bat. I'm going to do it in G. So, key of G, the opening of the song is like B7, E7, A7, D7, G7, C7, A7, A sharp diminished, G over B, or maybe B minor. So right there, and that goes by really fast, you get this. Series of dominant cycle, cycle of fourths. And yeah, it's tricky to play on that, especially the harmonic rhythm, 2 chord every 2 beats. And it's really interesting. I mean, just harmonically, much of it is straightforward, right? B7 goes to E7, 5-1, goes to A7, goes to D7, goes to G7, goes to C7, like a sped up rhythm changes bridge or some kind of, back cycling thing that if you want to watch my video on I Got It Bad and That Ain't Good and solo guitar arranging for more about back cycling. But then when you get to that C7, A7, G, C7, A7, A sharp diminished to B, and that A sharp diminished is sort of the clue to how that works harmonically. And again, you can refer to my video on diminished harmony for more on this, but that A sharp diminished is like 5 of 3 in the key of G. You can see, A sharp going to B minor 7 or G over B or even G. That 5 of 3 resolution is so strong that you can, I think, use it interchangeably, the 3 chord or the 1 chord in that situation. And as I talked about in that other video, both C7 and A7 are from that same family of diminished chords and the dominant chords that go along with it. And so is F sharp 7, and so is E flat 7. So another way you could think about that too is if you go like, playing like an F sharp dominant 7. That really shows the, because F sharp is 5 of B minor, so that really shows the 5 of 3 thing that's going on there. Or A7. Right, because A sharp diminished is the 5 of, it's built on the 3rd of the F sharp 7. So we've got that. And then from the B minor it goes B minor, E minor, A minor, D7, A minor, D7, G. And then sometimes, some versions will just stay on the G right there before the second A. Some people will go G and then have 2 beats of C7 to get you back to B7 to do the cycle again. I think Sinatra kind of does it like, and if you get it, if you try. like that. Monk, of course, does his. Going down a whole step and playing like a 2 chord or maybe a 6/9. I wish I had all the fingers to be able to play all those notes, because I could do it in that key. But like I call it the message in a bottle chords. You get like. Bud Powell kind of does that on the melody, but then when he gets to the solos, he pretty much resolves to G. With a little dominant pedal before he goes back to the cycle. So that's the A section. And it's tricky. I mean, in a certain sense, you kind of need to be able to just run those changes and do things like. Then you're kind of safe for a second, or I try to have a lot of that stuff under my fingers, just the triads and 7th chords and inversions. Right, B to E. I can do it there. I can do B to E right there. All over the place. I like to be able to have those little chord shapes, kind of like, in a way, the way I play over tunes like 26-2, Conception. Anything where the chords go by at a really rapid, harmonic rhythm like that. It also reminds me of, speaking of rhythm changes, George Gershwin, those substitutions that Don Byas does, where if the tune is at B flat. On the A section, that recording with Slam Stewart, he goes, rather than just go B flat, G, C, F7, he superimposes F sharp 7, B7, E7, A7, D7, G7, C7, F7, B flat. For the first 4 bars of the tune, and if you're going to try to play that, you got to have very efficient language that outlines those chords really quickly. You can't really think of scales because you've only got, 2 beats. And then, of course, train. Those little 4-note cells that he would do are a good solution to that. But it's that this tune never really lets you relax. One thing that I did, given that I feel like there's some precedent for changing the chords a little bit and tweaking with them, what I do, because what I find awkward with this song is, this is not really awkward, this is just challenging, but when you get your B minor, E minor, A minor, D7, A minor, D7, G, you get that 2-5-1 in the middle of the phrase. So what I like to do is go, when I get to that point, B minor, E minor, A, D, E flat, A flat, G, C, B. Put a little Wes Montgomery 4-on-6 substitution in there, or that's something Bud Powell does a lot. So I feel like throwing some Bud Powell into, although I don't know that he really does it on his recording of this tune, but then again, anyway, I feel like I can get away with it. So then the bridge, the second A, you got E minor, C7, E minor, A7, D minor, 5 of that, and then kind of like A minor to D7 augmented, or maybe just D7 augmented. So again, we got that diminished relationship in the A section, getting us from A7 back to G. And then on the bridge, you got that D augmented chord that takes us back to B7. So it's kind of 5. Again, it's 5 of G, right? D7 is 5 of 1, and B is the 3. Even though it's B7, that's not really the 3 in the key of G, but it's close enough for a D7 augmented to go back to a B7 chord. And then the last A has a little extension. So you're at like, nice work if you can get it, and if you get it, won't you tell me how? You kind of have the cycle again, kind of condensed version of it. So you're like E minor, E minor, A minor, D7, B7, E7, A7, D7, G, or you could probably go B7, E7, A minor, D7. At a certain point, whether they're dominant or minor in certain spots is less important. They're just kind of maintaining the momentum and the velocity of this tune. And that part, that little tag is interesting because Sinatra and a lot of folks, when I've played this tune, if I look at fake books and stuff, published charts on it, there are 2 bars at the end. So you have that, get it, won't you tell me how? Then back to the cycle. But both Monk and Bud Powell, they're in A flat. They go like, get it, won't you tell me how? They just do 1 bar of the tonic at the end. And then Joe Pass just ignores the turnaround and plays ignores the extension and just plays the A sections the same way each time. So again, what are you going to do? I sort of chose on I'm going to play on it in a second, a few choruses. I kept 2 bars at the end, and I put a C7 at the end, just to, like I said, to keep the momentum going. Bud Powell doesn't do that. He just plays G for a bar, the little dominant pedal point after that. But I feel like I can take slight liberties. And one other thing I would say about this tune, I don't know the total history of this, but I kind of feel like, or I suspect that this tune was kind of influential on Thelonious Monk's music in a certain extent. When I think of tunes like Skippy, and even to a lesser extent stuff like Brilliant Corners, those Monk tunes that have lots of dominant cycles like that. Even the bridge, where you have, I think of like In Walked Bud, going from F minor to D flat, which in the key of A flat, which is the one Monk is playing this tune in, that's the same chord. Again, that's not, it's also hard to say who got it from who, right? Because Gershwin was definitely checking out some Duke Ellington in the 20s and 30s and other, jazz musicians and jazz composers, in addition to the, his Ravel and all, his Stravinsky and other, European classical composers that he was studying. So, but yeah, I just feel like I hear this tune, I hear echoes of this tune, the chord changes of it, particularly the harmony, in a lot of things coming from that era in the jazz realm. So anyway, I'm going to play a few choruses on it and try to explore some of these ideas. So hope you enjoy it. Thanks.